Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, you guys. Let's talk about Diddy and Cassie. I know, right? Is this 2006 again? No, it's not, girl. I had to give it a mouth pop because it's been a while. Oh, that's so good, girl. Yes, I love a good mouth pop. Okay, so this is articles everywhere, but let's just read the New York Times. Sean Combs is accused by Cassie of the R word. And before you say it, because I was going to comment about why don't I say the whole R word. I don't say the R word because some people get triggered by that word. And the algorithm doesn't like me when I say the word. The R word doesn't promote your video. So, we all know what the R word is. The 4-letter R word. Rhymes with tape. That one. Yeah, okay. Sean Combs is accused by Cassie, his ex. Were they ever married? I don't even know. But she was the ex of Diddy, of R word and years of abuse in a lawsuit. In this suit, the singer says Mr. Combs, known as Puff Daddy or Diddy, subjected her to a pattern of control and abuse over and over for about a decade. Sounds about right, in my opinion. I believe everything Cassie says. And of course, Mr. Combs vehemently denies all the allegations. Of course you do. But we know it's true, in my opinion. Okay. Before I say, I will say P. Diddy is kind of hot, low-key. But he's a piece of shit psychopath, in my opinion. Okay. Let's see. Where is this article? Okay. So, Sean Combs, a producer and music mogul who's been one of the most famous names in hip-hop for decades, was sued in federal court on Thursday by Cassie, an R&B singer who signed onto his label, who accused Mr. Combs of R-word and repeated physical abuse over the decade. My ear is itching. Okay, in this suit filed by Federal District Court in Manhattan, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura. Ooh, that's a cute name. Get it? Work there, girl. And who had long been Mr. Combs' romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. Wow. I have a lot to say about all this, but anyway. I believe all this. Let's keep it real, I do. In 2018, the suit says near the end of their relationship, Mr. Combs forced his way into her home and R-worded her. After years in silence and darkness, Miss Ventura, her name is so sexy, Ventura, ooh, get it, girl. Yes. Let's see. Last name plays. Ooh, okay. Said in a statement, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. In response, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, Ben Braffman, said Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. But it's the truth. Okay. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship. But the truth? Anyway, which was that word, yeah. That word, yeah. Rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Miss Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. First of all, his reputation is right down the toilet. Anyway, none of this is really shocking. And if any of this is shocking to you, girl, where you been, girl? Let's see. Douglas Vigor, a lawyer for Miss Ventura, says the parties had spoken before the suit was filed. Mr. Combs offered Miss Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of the lawsuit. He said she rejected his efforts. I believe that too. Miss Ventura's case is the latest of series of sexual assault civil suits filed recently against prominent men in the music industry, including Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. Girl, if you haven't heard that, look that up. That motherfucker is shitty as fuck. Okay. And the executive Ellie Reed and Neil Portnow, the former head of the organization behind the Grammy Awards. Ooh, girl, shitty boots. Mr. Portnow has denied the accusation. Mr. Tyler and Mr. Reed have not responded because it's usually probably true, girl. I don't know about Ellie Reed. I don't know much about the Ellie Reed stuff, but I know the Tyler of Aerosmith. Girl. That motherfucker is shady as fuck. Just look up the allegations of Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. What's going on with that? Him allegedly marrying underage girls. Just the start of all that. And there's so much more to that, girl. That motherfucker is shady, girl. Oh my god. It's sick. Hollywood is sick. Anyway, Mr. Combs, 54. Oh, 54. Oh, he looks good for his age. Okay. Anyway, he looks good, but he's a son of a bitch. Okay. Founded Bad Boy in 93 and became one of the primary figures in the commercialization of hip-hop, working with stars like Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige. His net worth has been estimated as high as $1 billion. Last year, Forbes calculated Mr. Combs' annual earnings as $90 million per year, attributing that amount largely to his former partnership in a liquor brand called Ciroc. I used to drink that shit like it was water back in the day. Not anymore because I'm sober. Hey. But back in the day. And that is owned by spirits giant Dago. Mr. Combs, who is in his career, has variously been known as Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love may be the most famous music executive of his generation, but the suit depicts Mr. Combs as a violent person who, beyond repeatedly assaulted Mrs. Ventura, asked her to carry his gun in her purse, and the suit suggests he was responsible for blowing up the car of a rival suitor. In one incident, the suit says Mr. Combs dangled a friend of Miss Ventura over a 17th floor hotel balcony. So, I mean, this guy's a psychopath. I mean, we've all known this already. So none of this should be shocking to you. If any of this is shocking to you, girl, it's time to wake up and smell the coffee, girl. Yes. I said coffee like I'm from New Jersey. Coffee. Smell the coffee, honey. I mean, that's the best way to say coffee is coffee. Oh my god, you guys. Okay. In naming additional defendants, the court papers assert that others who worked with Mr. Combs had helped him to control Miss Ventura at times, threatening her with retribution, like suppressing her music if she did not obey his orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. The suit, which names Mr. Combs and a number of his associated companies as defendants, seeks unspecified damages. Cassie is stunning, and she's aged beautifully over the years, I will say that. According to Miss Ventura's suit, she was swept into Mr. Combs' jet-set lifestyle not long after meeting him and signing with Bad Boy, which released her debut album in 2006. You know the one that had that Me and You? That song was a bop and still is, girl. But the suit says he began to assert an extraordinary level of command over her life. Obviously, he's a psychopath, allegedly. In addition, controlling her career, he paid for her car, apartments, and clothing, and even had access to her personal medical records. According to the suit, the results from an MRI scan, she said her memory loss, possibly caused by drug use or by beating, she said she suffered from Mr. Combs, went directly to Mr. Combs. Wow, shady as fuck. Mr. Combs also provided Miss Ventura with copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to take them. The suit said she often became violent, beating her multiple times each year. The suit says Miss Ventura never went to the police because she feared it would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her. I believe everything she's saying. I mean, this is my opinion. In one incident in LA in 2009, the suit says Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Miss Ventura talking to another talent agent, then pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. According to the suit, Mr. Combs and then had a staff bring her to the hotel room to recuperate for a week. She asked to go home to her parents, but Mr. Combs refused. The suit says after that, seeing the violent repercussions of rejecting Mr. Combs and the extent to which he would isolate her from her support network. Oh, his camera was like over here. Miss Ventura felt that saying no to Mr. Combs would cost her something: her family, her friends, her career, or even her life. And though she tried to leave Mr. Combs, the suit says he sent his employees to lure her back. Yeah, controlling psychopath, it sounds like. Yeah, very sick. In one incident described by the court papers, Miss Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he said he would blow up the rapper's car. Around that time, the suit says Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Interesting. Though a spokesperson for Kid Cudi confirmed Miss Ventura's account that he had a car that exploded. This is all true, he said. Wow. A few years into Miss Ventura's relationship with Mr. Combs, the suit says he began to coerce her into engaging in a fantasy of a sexual voyeurism in which she was directed to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while Mr. Combs watched, masturbated, took pictures, and shot the video. According to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involve costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie. They continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the United States and Mr. Combs' homes. The suit says that he instructed Miss Ventura to search the websites of escort services to procure male sex workers. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Miss Ventura's suit says she took because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. Oh my God. According to the suit, Miss Ventura would delete videos from these incidences that had been shot on her phone, but Mr. Combs told her he still had access to those videos, and on a flight once made her watch a video she thought she had deleted. Wow, he really is a monster, you guys, 100%. In my opinion. The suit says that as a result of these sexual encounters in different cities, Miss Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking. The suit also accused Mr. Combs of sexual battery, sexual assault, and violations of New York City's gender-motivated violence law. Gender-motivated violence law, okay. Miss Ventura's suit includes several accounts of her unsuccessful attempts to escape Mr. Combs' control. One example of the suit says that during a freak-off at Los Angeles hotel in 2016, an intoxicated Mr. Combs punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. He fell asleep while she tried to leave the room. Mr. Combs woke up and followed her into the hallway, where he threw glass vases at her, sending glass shattering throughout the corridor. According to the court filing, the hotel security cameras captured the incident, but the suit says Mr. Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the damage. The court filing says in 2018, after Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and R-worded her while he repeatedly said no. Well, she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After that, the suit says she left him for good. Okay, well, that's about bloody time, you know? I mean, shit. Miss Ventura married Alex Fine, a personal trainer, the following year, and now has 2 young children, according to the complaint. Her association with Bad Boy ended in 2019. Miss Ventura's case, like other recent sexual assault lawsuits, in being brought under the Adult Surveyors Act, a New York law that always allows people who say they were victims of sexual abuse to file civil suits after the statute of limitations has expired, which is great. I'm glad that they have extended that time, because that's so fucked up, in which people, can't file, because it takes people some years to really have the courage to file these suits, and it's fucked up that there's like that little, there used to be that time period. I guess that not anymore. There's no time anymore. You can file the report whenever you feel like you're ready to do it, for the victims. It's really good. Right, the New York law that allows people to say they were victims there we go. The 1-year window to bring cases under that law ends next week. Oh. So is the law expiring? I'm really confused. It says the 1-year window to bring cases under this law ends next week. Anyway, whatever. The law decided that Miss Ventura's complaint and in the statement she addressed is important. With the expiration... Oh, so this law is expiring. Okay, got it. With I thought there was going to be something that... Okay, anyway, whatever. With the expiration of the New York Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, she said it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak about the trauma I've experienced, and I will be recovering for the rest of my life. Wow, you guys. I read the whole article for you guys. The whole article's on the New York Times website if you want to read it for yourself. But wow. Just wow. Also, I have to add, in my opinion, I think Diddy is either gay or bi. I just thought I would put that out there since we're talking about Diddy. And if that's a surprise to you, girl. Okay. That's just my opinion, of course. But yeah, so Diddy, a monster, a psychopath. What do you think? Do you believe Cassie? I do. I'm glad she's happy now and she has kids and a good partner and a good relationship, but I'm glad she finally escaped that monster. But 10 years of abuse, actually 13 years of abuse from that man is awful that she experienced that. I'm glad she has the courage to speak up now, tell her side of the story. So yeah, what do you think about all this? Leave a comment down below, like, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, bye guys.